Hey folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. It is Friday, November 15th. We made it, folks. We made it. It's been a good week here at SteelersNow.com. I really appreciate everyone listening and reading and watching all the content we got going on. Really been an awesome week, and it's Steelers Ravens week. So what is there not to be excited about? A huge game coming up here in just about 48 hours on the North Shore. Well, give or take a few. What a week, what a game is coming up. And this is the podcast where I generally give my matchup that I want you guys to pay attention to for this week's game. And I think I have a doozy here for you. I think I do. Let's start by talking about Patrick Queen, even though the matchup I really want to talk about is on the other side of the ball for the Steelers. You remember how when Patrick Queen got to Pittsburgh and everyone was kind of talking about like, hey, where's the splash? Where's the impact? I'm not seeing the guy I saw in Baltimore. I'm not seeing the guy the Steelers paid $41 million to have. And I think as things have gone along, we've seen a little bit more of that Patrick Queen. He's starting to come out. I thought last week was his best game against the Washington Commanders. And I would bet some money that this week is going to be the same, if not better. That's coming, and I feel pretty confident about that. Interestingly enough, though, and I don't know if we've talked about this, the same thing has been happening in Baltimore. You know, they signed Roquan Smith to a huge contract, and that huge contract is the reason that the Ravens never even offered Patrick Queen an option to come back. They said, we're spending all this money on Roquan Smith. We cannot spend two big money contracts at the linebacker position. So happy trails. Hope you don't end up in Pittsburgh. How'd that work out for you? Roquan Smith has not been playing that well this year. And Trenton Simpson, who replaced Patrick Queen, and he have not been living up to the standard that Queen and Smith set. Now, I think Simpson's a good player. I know Roquan Smith is a really good player. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually. I think sometimes it just takes some time to get used to new teammates. And sometimes the way a particular set of players fit together provides value beyond their abilities. I think Queen and Smith might have been one of those pairings where neither of them might ever be as good without one another as they were with one another. And obviously, if you're the Steelers and you're holding the price tag for Patrick Queen, that doesn't make you feel good until you play the Ravens and they're holding the even bigger price tag for Roquan Smith. But I'm going to throw some numbers out here to you. Roquan Smith, when targeted this season, has been targeted 42 times, has allowed 81% of those passes to be completed for an average of 11.4 yards per catch and a 95.1 passer rating. Now, these are from PFF, so maybe take them with a grain of salt, but that's pretty significant to me. That's how about Trenton Simpson? Targeted 29 times, completed 25 of them, 86% completion percentage, 10.5 yards per reception, 126.9 passer rating, 2 touchdowns against Trenton Simpson. Again, you can take those the charting with a grain of salt. It is PFF, but that is eye-opening. The play of the coverage play the Ravens are getting from their linebackers, it's not good. It's not good. And we talked a lot this offseason about a guy that I thought was going to have a big part of the Steelers offense that has not really to this point, and that's Pat Freiermuth. Now, he's got in the end zone, 3 touchdowns, including a nice one last week against Frankie Louvu. But the volume has not really been there for Freiermuth. 34 targets, 29 catches, 281 yards. Nothing anyone is hanging a banner for. But do you remember last year when the Steelers played the Cincinnati Bengals and they just looked at the way they lined up and said, oh man, this is the Pat Freiermuth game. And then I think that was the one where Pickett was still playing. Freiermuth just went off. I can see that happening again here. The Ravens have good corners. Marlon Humphrey is a good player. Brandon Stevens is a good player. Cal Hamilton plays and he's in the slot. He's a really good player. But their linebackers are struggling in coverage. Their safeties, outside of Hamilton, who sometimes plays safety, are not very good. I'm not afraid of throwing the ball over the middle against the Baltimore Ravens right now. And Pat Freiermuth is that dude. He has a connection with Russell Wilson. It's not like they've been trying to force him the ball and have been unable to get it there. 34 targets, 29 catches. He's catching 85% of the passes thrown his way. That's absurd, by the way. His career high in a season coming into this year was 75.9 back when Ben was running things in 2021. He's there for them to use more than they have been. I think this is the breakout game for Pat Freiermuth this season. I think they can exploit a center of the Baltimore pass defense that is either not very good, banged up, or just not playing very well right now. And when you look at this Ravens defense, they've stopped the run. And they've been okay in preventing deep balls, which I know the Steelers are going to want to try. Where they've really struggled is where Freiermuth thrives, and I think that is the big matchup in this game. If the Steelers can get Pat on the loose, they can really exploit the weakness of this Baltimore defense. And we'll see. I think it's an interesting matchup that the Steelers have not exploited yet, and I think they need to, and I think they might in this one. The other guy who you might think might be able to take advantage of that matchup as well, Jaylen Warren, banged up, missed practice on Thursday with a back injury. We'll see if he goes today. Maybe Jaylen Warren could be a part of that too, because usually you're looking at those two linebackers. Somebody's got the tight end, somebody's got the running back. Maybe Najee Harris out of the backfield. The Steelers haven't used him much in that way. But Jaylen Warren certainly could fit into that mix as well. But I think it's Pat Freiermuth for me. And maybe Darnell Washington. He's been doing a nice job as well, catching the ball on those little bootlegs with Russell Wilson in there. Practice today on the South Side. I'll be there. Video coming up here on the YouTube channel for Sights and Sounds. We'll see how many of those injured guys make that final practice of the week. Guys like Van Jefferson, who's been banged up. Jaylen Warren, who didn't practice yesterday. Corey Trice, who's trying to get on that moving train and get back in the lineup. Watching for all those things. And then, of course, me, Smitty, DB, 6 p.m. here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. We'll be giving our full prediction for Steelers Ravens. And then our new feature here on the YouTube channel and on our audio feeds will be a show with our new reporter, Aaron Becker. And it's going to be on Saturdays. First one this Saturday, just going to be me and Aaron chopping it up. And so I hope you enjoy that. And then we'll let the rest of that go for when we debut it on Saturday. That's it for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your Friday.